Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Women in Construction webinar hosted by Steelwrist. We've got a fantastic session lined up, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait to dive into this. I'm Sanna Larsen. I work for Steelwrist for the North American branch, and I will be the host for this webinar. I will guide you through today's discussions. Hi, everybody. Hi from Denmark. Nice. Yeah, let's kick off and welcome our incredible panel into the webinar. We'll start with Donna Lafara with A&D Equipment. Hi,
Good morning.
Donna.
Good morning, Sanna. How are you today?
Hi, good. And last but not least, we have Brittany Aumann Landscaping.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome, ladies. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to share your experience with us here today. And you viewers, what can you expect from this 45-minute discussions? We'll hear real personal stories from these women in the excavating industry, sharing their experience, challenges, and triumphs. You'll get an inside look at what it's really like to navigate in this field, and how these incredible women have built their careers. We're super excited to look into all of these things. Oh, there's so many people in here. Yeah, let's dive right into it and get to know our panelists a little bit better. Ladies, why don't you go ahead and give our viewers a brief introduction of yourself? We can start with, let's start with you, Donna.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Donna Lafada. I am the owner and president of A&D Equipment out of Connecticut, which is a company that sells excavator attachments. And that's not what I always did. 20 years ago, I was a school teacher, but then I happened to marry a guy that was an excavator and owned an excavating company. So I said, well, maybe I'll stop teaching and I'll work in an excavating company. So that's what I did. And we've been doing that for 20 years together. And about 13 years ago, we started A&D Equipment, which is what I run primarily. And it was a natural progression for us to go from excavating into selling excavator attachments. So that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years.
A teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Donna, we're excited to hear more as we dive into the discussions later on.
Yes, it'll be fun.
Could you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
You asked for me, right? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I am Brittany Aumann. I am the owner of Aumann Landscape. I work alongside my husband. Like Donna, I didn't start out in the industry. I started working in an insurance company right out of college. I have a marketing degree, and that seemed like the right fit for me at the time. But then as my husband's business grew, I knew I wanted to move more towards that. We specialize in residential design, build, and construction. So we do pools and retaining walls and patios. My personal role in the company has changed over the years. So in the beginning, it started out like I was in the field a lot, and we were just, as you're building a company, it takes everyone must help. And so that was the attitude we had. As we've grown and we've had kids, I kind of call myself the master controller right now. So I make sure all the plates keep spinning. I still miss the field, and I just enjoy going out and creating. That's why I do what I do, because every project we do is a creation. So my husband and I will go out and do stormwater work together throughout the year. And other than that, I keep marketing, I keep finance, I keep clients and projects spinning, making sure everything's taken care of.
Cool. Thank you so much, Brittany, for joining us here today as well. And Amy, the digger girl, all the way from Scotland, the UK. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. So my name's Amy Underwood, known as the Digger Girl. I'm a little bit different to Donna and Brittany's stories because I have been in excavator since I left school. But my story is a little bit different because I want to be in diggers. I wanted to be a mechanic, but nobody would take me on when I left school. So I started working for my dad's business, which is just a small family business there's 3 of us in it now. And worked with him since I was 16, 17, running excavators, HGV, like trucks, lorries, every kind of machinery. We do lots of different jobs, from like hydro stations, farm work, hill roads, forestry. So every day I'm basically in a digger or a truck, as well as running my dad's company as well. So I do all the paperwork and all that kind of stuff for him. And then more recently, I started doing social media, which is also a full-time job, which is not a full-time job for me. And started my own brand and business as the Digger Girl, just sharing my journey online.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Amy, for joining as well. I think let's just jump right into it. I'm thinking, girls, if you want to do a round table, and if you could give one piece of advice to women entering this industry, what would it be? What would one key point of bringing? What would that be? Can start with you. You can go ahead, Amy, if you have something that you can share.
I would always just say, do you. I say this to women and to young guys, like if it's something you want to do and you're passionate about it and love it, then go for it. And if anybody tries to tell you any different, don't listen and follow your heart all the time. I've had so many people on site tell me, like, when's your dad coming? Like, where's your dad? And then I usually say nothing, just do the job. And then afterwards they're like, oh, you're really good at that. And I'm like, thanks, that's my job.
Yeah, they're impressed, right? Yeah.
So very much like follow your heart and follow your dreams and don't let anybody get in the way of it.
No,
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Brittany, do you have any?
Yeah, I would say confidence is key. So I just came off of a Women in Construction conference here in Ohio. And one of the big things we talked about there was just confidence and knowing your worth and not hesitating to ask for things. Like, as a female in the industry, I think sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I think we are overlooked. And I think we're not necessarily confident asking someone for a raise or a different position or something that we think we're worthy of. And so, kind of to Amy's point, like, just ask for it, just go for it, learn as much as you can. Confidence has been big for me. So my personality doesn't allow me to put me in situations that I'm not confident in and I don't know that I can succeed. And so education along this entire journey, constantly asking questions, challenging myself to learn new things. I mean, learning the Steelwrist, the day I got into the thing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a mistake. And, like a week later, it's like, I go back into a different excavator. It's like, crap, we need to put a Steelwrist on this one too. And so, just building that skill set and becoming more confident in it allows you to earn the respect that you deserve.
Yeah, definitely agree on that. Donna, what can you share with us?
Well, I think learning as much as you possibly can about the trade that you're passionate about, right? So the ladies brought up some good things already. So learning as much as possible, educating yourself, and being persistent and not giving up. And that means asking a lot of questions, and it means being the first one to show up and maybe the last one to leave, but to never give up on yourself. And that's kind of the confidence piece too, right? It kind of all goes together. Persevere and keep trying, and you'll do it. You'll make it. So don't give up.
And ultimately, there's space for everyone in the industry. It doesn't have to be all or all, like, we all have a role. And the more confident that everyone is in their role, the better the industry will be in general. So I don't think it's one way or the other.
Right. Helping each other out and making space for everybody, and getting it done. Right.
there's things that everyone's good at, like I'm better at my husband than certain things, and he's way better at things than I like. So, I mean, just find your niche, find what it is that you do you. And that's how you succeed in the industry. You don't put yourself in a position just to say that, oh, I do this just because. Like, I think Amy talked about, but do what you're passionate about.
Yeah, I think that's key too. And Amy, do you feel like do you often get questioned, like you were saying before, like people are asking, like, yeah, where's your dad? When's he's coming? Or are you the one who's going to do the work? Okay, like was that more before, or is that still, do you still get questions or questioned, I should say?
Yeah, it was when I first started out and when I was a bit younger, it was always aimed at dad all the time. And it took a lot of time to gain respect of certain people. Even to this day, I can still tell you who'll write an email on it saying to John, even though I'm the one who gets all the emails every single time and I reply from Amy. But every single time he likes to get that point across that it's going to my dad, and I'm like, it's going to me. But my dad's obviously backed me up massively, and I've been disrespected before, and he'll happily say it's not me you've got to deal with, it's Amy, or stuff like that as well, to put the point across that it's not him who's running it, it's both of us, we're a team. So I'm just lucky that I've had him to back me, and if people do cross the line, he'll be there to also have my back as well. Where I'm from, the people who we work for is mainly the same people. Like, it's quite a small place. I'm from on the west coast of Scotland. Everyone kind of knows everyone. But if I go outside of our wee cul-de-sac, then I do get the odd comments of people saying I'm not good enough and stuff. But honestly, I just don't let it bother me anymore. It is what it is. I know I'm good at what I do, or I wouldn't be doing it here now.
No, exactly. That's right. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about social media and marketing later. But I was going to ask or continue a little bit on Brittany. You say that you were attending to a Women in Construction conference the other week. And I know you've been. Sorry.
I was there 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and so I'm sure you've been attending to more than just that one, but is there anything that you bring with you from those conferences? Like, is there any key points that because I've been to a couple as well, and I know that every time we walk out of there, you feel super motivated, super inspired, and you just want to encourage people to these different initiatives. What are your experiences?
Yeah, so as far as I know, the one that I attended was WorkBrow, and it was the only one in the United States. It was the only female women in construction conference in the United States, to my knowledge. So that was really cool. It was the second year that they've done that, and what the main key message there is, like I said just a little bit ago, is just knowing your worth and knowing your place and not taking no when it should be a yes. Through that, we talked about navigating your career and how to, in a male-dominated industry, and how to ask for those positions, how to make it through workplace challenges. A lot of females are mothers, and so how do you navigate time off as a mom, when you have a baby, or what about if you're breastfeeding? And so as a female in this industry, there's a lot of layers that the guys don't have to deal with. Typically, if you work a 9-to-5 job in the office, it's not a big deal. But if you are out in the field, there are other challenges to overcome. And that's a lot of the conversation that, behind the scenes at dinner, at the networking parts of things. But the best part about all of this stuff, this webinar, social media, is the networking. And so I found that throughout my career and my journey, it's helped to just find other people in my shoes or who have been there before, and just to make it all more relatable. Because in business, I think a lot of times you feel like you're on your own island. And it's like, I'm the only one with this problem. No one else understands me. But then you go to these conferences and ConExpo and stuff, and it's like, oh, no, everyone has the same problem I do. I'm normal. And I think that's the best part about attending conferences and stuff.
And Donna, I know we went to one together, I think it was last fall. We went to a local Women in Construction conference here in New England. It's called New England Women in Construction. Conferences like
Probably
that, what do you... Yep.
I think it's been great. That was probably a smaller one. The Workbrow one looked really good. I was watching it on social media, and I really want to make that a point to make it to that one next year. I find it to be really important to do the networking and attend these events. I think what you'll find is a common thread is that we've come a long way in the last, 20, 30, 40 years, but that we have a long way to go. Right. And so us getting together and using our voice is a powerful thing, and we need to keep doing it. It also doesn't need to just be for 1 week. It needs to be for 52 weeks a year. And we need to be vocal and be networking all year long. So I think, the takeaway is to stay positive about it and keep working and moving and networking, and that we have a ways to go, but we've done a lot so far. So we have to keep pushing forward and stay vocal and do it together.
Yeah, definitely keep supporting each other. And speaking of like networking, we can dive right into like social media and marketing. Brittany, you have a marketing background. How is that? What marketing strategies have worked best for you? And what hasn't worked at all?
Yeah, we have a lot of failures in the marketing department. I will say I have a marketing degree. I haven't used it.
Interesting. Yeah?
I am not going to be the first person to tell everyone to go to college. I will be the last person to tell you that. Especially for my current role, I've learned more by being in business and just working than anything I learned in my 4-year degree. Doctors and that kind of stuff, yeah, I'm in full support of you guys going to school, but there's a lot of things. I think the world has it backwards on the college education right now, and really encouraging people to go there. But that is a side tangent. As far as marketing goes, for the company and our personal brand, because we do the social media thing and training and whatever, being authentic and just telling our story has literally been the best thing for our company. Locally, for our construction company, we show our kids on the job sites, and we show our kids running the excavator after work when the guys get in. We share like stories of our guys and what their successes are, because we want to build a sense of community, and we want people to know that we're invested we're also from a small town, but we're invested in the community around us. So just being really authentic and trying anything. So as all these new social media platforms come out, I don't even know what they are. I can't keep up with them, but I bet you we have an account on all of them, and we'll just trickle stuff in there just to keep trying it and see what sticks, because especially in the social media world and building a personal brand, like there's always a new audience. So the people that follow us on Facebook don't follow us on Instagram, and the people that follow us on Instagram don't follow us on YouTube, and so, or the podcast. And so there's just all these different avenues, and we're like not put all your eggs in one basket type people. And so far that's really worked, because when Instagram hates you and kills your algorithm, you have something else to go on to.
And like better to post something that doesn't post anything at all. Like just get out there, try everything out.
And that's the only way to break into it. And a lot of people aren't comfortable, like, oh, well, I don't want to show my face on the screen, or I don't have anything of value to post. You know what? I bet you if you post something, you're going to help someone in some way, whether it's something you learned on the job site or like a little trick you learned in the office. Like, I share the most random things. Like, even if I have a new way to file something in the office, I can help someone with that information. And the only way to help people is to share it.
And I feel like people want to see that. They want to see the everyday life and how that's why they follow your account. They want to see how you run the business and what's happening.
Over
Again,
time,
a normal weekday.
Right. Over time, our business, our social media part started out as like literally sharing knowledge, like sharing educational stuff. That's why we got into it. It was, oh, like this tree is dying because of this, or this tree has this disease. And we got a lot of followers that way because people were hungry for the information. As we've transitioned kind of a lifestyle, we show you everything that's going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's worked well for us too. Different audiences though.
Yeah. And Amy, for you, like obviously you are very big on social media. You have a lot of followers. Where did that all start for you? Like where did all those people come from? And when did it pick up?
I still don't really know. It's just the reason I started posting was because none of my girlfriends were interested in like pictures I post on my private page or anything. And then I seen a boy, Connor the digger driver. Some of you might have heard of him. I say about him all the time. I seen him posting pictures at work and stuff, and I just thought I could do that. So I started. Instagram was my first platform in the end of 2019. And then by the following year, I had 10,000 followers, and then literally just went mental after that. I'm about 900,000 over all my different platforms now. And I'm literally just showing, as Brittany says, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I show everything. Because I think as soon as you stop being non-relatable online, then that's when people don't care. People don't want to follow you. They want to be able to relate to something. So yeah, that's how I started. And yeah, same as Brittany as well, all different platforms. There's different audiences in each platforms. Some are a little bit nicer than others, but you've got to keep your doors open.
And what's the feedback that you get from your different social media accounts? Like, how do you respond to feedback? And what motivates you to continue posting on social media, even though, because I know you've been talking a lot about it, not hate specifically, but there's people who goes in there and, they sit behind their screens and they write stupid comments. Like what motivates you to continue on?
So for a few years ago there, I was get hate, but it's just like, I know it's like people who don't matter, and people with like, just doesn't mean anything. And it was Awesome Earth Movers. I'm sure you've all heard of them. He had said to me, he was like, just ignore them. He says, when I get a hate comment, so on any of my platforms, I just delete them straight away. Once you delete it, it's gone. You don't have to think about it. As soon as you reply to it, it's stuck in your head. It's eating away at you. You might end up saying something you might regret later on. So just delete it and it's done. So then I go by, my biggest motto is no response is a response. As soon as you start responding to like one-on-one or hate comments, then that's when it grows arms and legs. And yeah, just not responding is the best way. And also that agitates the people who are giving you the hate in the first place, because you're not letting it get to you.
No, they're just jealous. It all comes down to that.
Yeah.
I know.
And
that's what I say,
Yeah, exactly. And Donna, you guys are also very transparent when it comes to social media, and you're showing up all kinds of different things. Like I can see I can wake up in the morning at 5:30 and A&D already posted a picture from loading a truck in the morning, or
Right. So I do try to post every day. I'm a little bit different than Brittany or Amy or some of the others that are out there. I don't post myself, right? Brittany, you were saying like you have to post yourself and don't be afraid. And you don't see my face, I don't think, hardly ever, occasionally, but what I do love to post is what we're doing at the shop that morning, or real life stuff. It's not just usually me, it might be the guys. I don't think I've ever posted how to file something, Brittany, but yeah, I could probably share some stuff on ways to do things. But I love to repost things that my clients have posted and they tag me. That's my favorite because it's free content, and it's like, okay, if somebody else out there is using my product that I've sold them and they've posted it and tagged me, I'm like, yes, love those. And for me, I also get to post what we're doing on the excavating side, because we still run an excavating company. So for that, I just go into company cam and I get my content on whatever's going on the jobs that day. So, and Instagram's my favorite. I'm not sure why. It feels a little bit like a family Instagram. I am on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. We try to trickle it, like you say, everywhere. Our hope is always that it leads back to our website, because our website is really strong. But Instagram is my baby. And then, yes, at 5:30 in the morning, sauna, I'm usually there drinking my coffee, figuring out what I'm going to post that day. So yeah, but it's powerful, all of it. It's powerful and it's overwhelming at the same time, right? There's so much to it, but like you said, you can't make a mistake. You just keep trying different things and putting things out there, be as authentic as possible, and the rest of it falls where it may.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I can agree. Brittany, did you have anything you wanted to say? I felt like I interrupted you before.
Yeah, it's funny. So a few years ago, a handful of women in the States got together and they created the Crew Collaborative. And we made a few TikToks. This is when TikTok came right out. And some of the comments on there were like, none of the girls can hit the ground with the bucket, and like just ridiculous things. And to anyone out there breaking into the social media world, like, does that hurt? Yeah. Is it true? No. And so our policy is we just block them. Like, and it's the same thing we tell our kids to do, right? Like, if you have kids or nieces or nephews, like, you don't want they're bullies. They're essentially bullies on the internet. And so we block it. There's a lot of hateful people out there, but ultimately there's something bad in their life that's causing them to do that. And we pray for them.
And something that you girls and ladies have in common is you are all part of our Steelwrist family. And you guys own and operate different sizes tiltrotators. And Amy, you've been running tiltrotators for many years now, and recently decided to switch to Steelwrist. What influenced your decision to do that?
Well, yeah, I've had tiltrotator for maybe 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years. But I never experienced any other tiltrotators. I just went with one brand to start with. But if any of you guys know, like, we don't stick to one brand. So we've got 6 excavators and 5 different brands. Kubota, Takeuchi, Kobelco, Hitachi, Hyundai, got them all. The reason why we have that is because they're all good machines. Essentially, they do the same thing, just there's some things we like about some and not about others. And then for us, being so remote, backup's got to be a big thing as well, where you get parts if they come out, if there's a breakdown. So then when I got the opportunity to try out a Steelwrist, I loved it. And then speaking to you guys and then getting over to the factory, it was like weird. It's so strange. And in your place in Sweden there, it's just like the most chilled out place ever. And I was like, this is a bit of me. Like walking in, the wee dogs running about the place. Everyone just so laid back. It was just, I loved the whole feeling, and everyone was so friendly. And obviously loved the product, or I would just not have it. There's a few things about the Steelwrist that I like better than other brands, like the 45-degree angle, just things like that. Like that makes a big difference to an operator as well. And then Gareth Evans, who installs them over here for us, like, he is spot on. I can phone him day or night and he will answer that phone if I've got a problem with it. So I took all this into consideration. But yeah, it was definitely meeting the team over there. It was like, it's just a bit of me, like so laid back. Love it.
I'd love to hear that. Yeah, so support is key. Let's just agree on that. And Brittany,
Absolutely.
you recently got a tiltrotator as well. You haven't been using it for that long. How is the learning curve?
Learning curve is fun. It was not fun the first week. It was not fun the first week. But so in the States, obviously, we're slow to adapt to things, right? And a few people in our industry, in the green industry is what we call it, they were using them, but no one was quite sure, just not quite sure of the investment. And I knew it was the right decision. It was just getting our team to adapt to it too. Because a lot of times, like we've had guys that have been with us for 15 years. And so it's like an old dog's new trick type thing. Like, oh, well, I can do it just fine with the regular excavator. So like breaking into that. So the learning curve was there, but now that everyone likes it, no one wants to take any of the other machines out. And I mean, it's a one-stop shop there. You have all the attachments. I don't need to have 6 different machines on site to move anything. The excavator can literally move it all. So we have it on our 6-ton Cabelco. And like Amy, we're not brand loyal to anyone. We just buy the right machine at the right time, at the right price, when, whatever makes sense there. But as far as like our efficiency and precision has changed dramatically since we started using this. And, as a business owner, that's all that matters, right? Efficiency. That's what this whole conference I'm at about is all about efficiency. And I can attribute a lot of our field efficiency to this overall machine.
That's fantastic. Like during this conference that you've been to right now, have you been discussing tiltrotators at all, or like speaking of efficiency and all of those things?
Yeah, so we did yesterday. So we identified 9 wastes in our company. Like everyone identified 9 wastes in their company, and it was like operationally, it was one was motion, like what on your job sites are you moving too much for? So like, are your tools on the truck that's on the road and you're walking from the backyard to the road every 5 minutes because you forgot a rake or you forgot a shovel? And then we talked about equipment. And if I can load the excavator and like 4 attachments onto the trailer and get them to a job site instead of having 2 trucks, an excavator, a ditch witch, Toro mud, but like if I can prevent having to have those other 4 pieces of equipment, they're not in use right now. They're all sitting at the shop, so I'm making payments on something I don't need. I'm saving a whole truck and trailer needing to go to site, which is saving me another driver. And so we're talking about efficiency as an entire package. Yes, the guys are we're more accurate on the job site now, like with our dig outs. But at the same time, like we've saved in mobilization, we've saved in having to buy other equipment. And I think that's a really big deal for us, especially moving forward. We plan to double the company this year and next year. And
wow.
we're really taking a look at what that's going to look like equipment wise, and like what the best move is going to be there. Like I said, we need to do it as efficiently as possible with the least amount of investment. And that you see, like, you see, okay, well, the excavator is expensive, the Steelwrist is expensive, but at the same time, like, what do you not have to buy because you're buying that one package? And that's how you weigh it out as a business owner.
Yeah, definitely. That list can be made long if you have to.
Yeah.
And
I think Donna, you probably know we have all the attachments. So.
Yeah, exactly, and you do.
Yep.
And Donna, you have experience selling the tiltrotator and Steelwrist, and you are very familiar with it. What insights can you share?
Well, what's kind of cool about us is that we were early adopters of the tiltrotator. About 8 years ago, our excavating company jumped on board. My husband couldn't wait. So as soon as his father retired out of the business, my husband couldn't wait to buy all the things that his dad wouldn't spend the money on. So he was game right out of the gate. And we run several machines with tilt rotators, the small ones, the minis, all the way up to the big ones. And so we knew like immediately that it changed our game, and we've been running them for 8 years and we're more efficient, all the things, right, Brittany? Like it eliminates laborers on the ground, and it's just game changing, right? You can't imagine like how much it changes your game. So that's been great, right? But the cool thing about what I get to do is that it not only changes my game, is that I get to sell them and I get to help change other people's games, which is very rewarding for us. We're very good at tilt rotators because we use them. But, I say at our staff meetings every month, we go over numbers. And one of the things that we talk about is how many tilt rotators did we sell this month and install. And I say to the staff, I'm like, you should be really proud of the 5 tilt rotators that we sold this month, or 6 or 3, whatever it is. Like, you have helped in that 1 month change the trajectory of that company. And we get to do that over and over and over. So it's like super proud to be able to do that. Like, I might be the only female, Steelwrist dealer, I'm not sure, but we're super proud of that. We use them, and we love to continue to support that and spread the word about them.
So let's see here. Thank you, Donna, for sharing that. And just a side note, I saw that last week that I think that next year will be 10 years since we started to work together, or you started to work with Steelwrist.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's amazing. Right? Time flies.
It flies by, right? But it's like a blink. It's been great.
Oh my God. And let's see, I see here in the chat that I have right next to me, if we have some question. I see here we got one that says, how do you see the future of construction evolving, especially with regards to gender diversity? Feel free, speak. Brittany, how do you see the future?
So, I think Donna said it a little bit ago, but, it's come a long ways in, 10 years or 20 years since I've been in it. And I think that's going to continue. I think there are people out there that are just totally against it, right? There always will be. But I think in general, like through this movement and, all the conferences and like ConExpo and BOM and everything, like there's women events there now. And so I think it's not going to be an overnight change, but I think we're slowly going to have a place to where it's going to be a normal thing. It's going to take time, but I think eventually it'll just be a normal thing to have a female on a job site running an excavator or a bulldozer or as a project manager. I want to make it clear that you don't have to work in the field to be a woman in construction. There are roles across the board to participate. So I see great things ahead for it.
Yeah, the more the merrier. We need all the support we can get, and to keep this initiative moving forward. But we definitely come a long way, like Donna said. What did you say, Donna? Like 50 years ago, there was nothing like this initiative at all.
Something that we can do. I mean, the construction industry needs people, right? We know that. And that means we need men and women in all the roles. And I was just going to say, I was thinking of Crew Collab and supporting, their mission and getting kids interested in construction. And that has to be something that we're all on board with. Or like the repurposed educator. I love them. Workforce development and just, following the people that are making things happen and, doing it together, supporting each other. The Crew Collab popped into my head because they're doing great work.
Yep, I agree on that. Amy, what's your thoughts? How do you see the future of construction evolving?
Well, for me up here, when I first started working with Dad 13 years ago, I was probably about the only woman in construction. But now you're seeing them all the time. So that's like in 13 years, how much has evolved already. Never mind another 10 years, I think it's going to be a total game changer and there's going to be big differences. Because it's just there's young people coming through all the time. And then the likes of I always resort back to social media. When we were younger, you never seen any women on this. But now I've got like dads messaging me, mums messaging me, being like, oh, my kid loves watching you. Like they didn't know that that's an opportunity for them to get into it from such a young age. But now they're seeing it as and can be a job, then I think we'll actually have no problem in the next 10 years of getting more girls into it. And guys, I always say we need guys as well. Like we need girls and guys. We just need construction workers as a whole because there's too many people coming out of school now, as you said, Brittany, and going to university and college and stuff. But they need to be taught like there's a route to go down as well, and a very, very good route at that is construction.
Yeah, so continue on that. just really short here before we have to round off. Just very brief. How can women in the construction industry support and uplift one another? What's the key thing? How can we inspire people to get into this business?
I'll go first. I would say by sharing what you know, offering mentorship, encouraging each other to step outside of your comfort zone. The mentorship, I think, is big. So when you're not comfortable going into something, but you see somebody like Amy and like, well, that would be really cool. I just don't know how to do it. Reach out to her and ask her. I'm sure she is willing to share her career path and what that looks like. And so, offer to help the people on the come up. And the more you share, the more people will want to be involved.
Yeah.
I agree with Brittany. I always say there's no such thing as a stupid question as well. So if there's young people and they're too scared to ask, nothing is stupid. Like we've all asked probably something that we thought was stupid, but it's not. You're never going to learn or find out any information if you don't ask that one question. So yeah, don't be shy.
No, agree on that. And time flies when you're having fun. I didn't even realize what time it was. We're gonna share on Swedish behalf a little video. So feel free to stay on and watch, and then we have a couple of minutes left after that.
Steelwrist stands out with its innovative and technology-driven approach, offering a dynamic work environment that fosters creativity and technical expertise.
I really enjoy the fast pace of developing at Steelwrist and all the different challenges that I face every day.
We promote an inclusive culture and continuous development, making us an attractive choice for those seeking a career in technology and innovation.
I like Steelwrist because my passion is building a product from beginning till end, and this is very enjoyable for me.
We believe that the best ideas come from working together, where every team member is empowered to contribute to our shared success.
In my opinion, you can't really have a bad day at Steelwrist. It's just pleasant to be here. You can be on your own, being independent, working. The personnel, they trust you. Steelwrist trusts you with the work that you will do.
With team members in close to 20 countries around the world, Steelwrist is growing fast. Our wide product range of tiltrotators, quick couplers, and work tools help contractors to increase efficiency of their excavators.
I joined Steelwrist since it's one of the fastest growing companies in the industrial business. As an employee, you are treated as one of the assets of the company, and we work by our core values: responsiveness, simplicity, and speed.
These values guide our every decision and action, ensuring that we remain agile and focused on delivering the best solutions for our customers.
What surprised me the most when I started here was the number of dogs at the office, but it creates a very pleasant and homely atmosphere.
If you're looking for a career with a company that values innovation, fosters teamwork, and is committed to your development, Steelwrist is the place for you. Join us and help shape the future of technology and innovation.
We are Steelwrist!
Yay! And yeah, time is up, ladies, and I just wanted to thank you so much to our amazing panelists, Amy, Brittany, and Donna, for sharing your stories and experience with us today. You've truly inspired us all with your dedication and passion for the excavation industry. We need more people like you, definitely. And thank you to everybody who joined us. I can see there's been activity in the chat all this webinar. So we hope you found today's discussion insightful and motivating as well. Whether you're just starting your career or looking to make your mark in the industry, we hope to leave you here with some valuable takeaways. And if you guys have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out and we'll make sure to connect with you. We'll also be sharing some additional resources soon. And that's pretty much it. On behalf of Steelwrist, from me, thanks again. Thank you, ladies, again. And yeah, have a wonderful day, everybody. And Amy, for you, have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good one.